Good morning, and today is going to be Ace Queen. We're in the cutoff, and we have a limper. Limper right now is playing 48-8. Pretty loose passive in general. He does have pre-flop raising range. His raise first in's 15% from mid position. Limps is 35. Wish we had more hands on him, but I'm going to assume that he plays something like this, including maybe it took out like these hands that I assume he would have raised pre-flop with, like nines plus ace queen, and then kind of add all the rest of this is just a limping hand. That, I don't know, maybe it's tighter. Maybe he's got more like suited hands in raising range, so this precludes those. Who knows? But it's on me, and I've got my standard cutoff open raising range, so I'm just going to go ahead and isolate this player. I know he's loose, and I actually have a decent hand. I think against this player I might end up not raising some of these, not ISO raising some of these gappers, maybe some of these offsuits, because I don't think he's really going to be folding too much. And he could fold. His limp and call raise is or his limp fold is 100%. So I mean, we know he at least folds some of these hands that he's limping with. So I raised, and sure enough, he calls. Now, is he going to call with this entire range? We see that he folds. He has limp and folded 100%. So this is 3 times now that he has faced this, where he's limped and then faced a raise. So I don't think he's calling with all of these. I think we can probably narrow down some of the hands. Probably, I'm going to say these broadways, since he is loose, he's probably calling those. He's possibly calling some of these offsuit hands. These gappers, probably not. He's probably tightening those up. Or if he calls them, he's, like your one gappers there. Something like this now that we dropped to 19%. Flop comes down, ace 7-6, and then this is what's interesting. So he leads 18 big blinds into an 11.5 big blind pot. This just seems like it's totally unusual. Like he is trying for a fold to challenge. I know most of the time somebody donks into you, they're testing you to see if you actually have the pair, and in this case they normally have a top pair hand with a weak kicker. Do we have some information on him? Yeah, 20%, 2 out of 10. So he's done this before. So I called. I mean, I've got top pair second care. I've got a strong hand. Turn was a 6, and that was almost scary. I didn't really hesitate too much, because I actually thought that was a pretty good card. If he has an ace, or if he has like a king, pocket pair, a high pocket pair, or maybe even like 8s or 9s, if he has that. I'm not worried about that, because he didn't connect with it. I'm not sure if he's donking with the 6. I think he's donking ace and lower kicker, but I don't think he's doing it with the 6. I don't really think. I mean, maybe he does it with like 8-9, but still he's on the draw. So again, very unusual. He led all in. He shoved for almost twice the pot. And it's on me, and I just went ahead and called, because I thought I think I'm ahead still. So then we see the river of 4, and then we get to a showdown. So I want to go through and look at this for a GTO. I have a suspicion that we're going to have to modify his ranges, like what he's doing this with, just to get a better idea, because I don't think this is GTO strategy that he's made, where he's overbetting the pot both times with like a 1 pair hand. So let us get GTO. All right, so as expected, the GTO strategy only has him betting 3.3% of the time, which includes these different hands. So he does have some of these top pair hands. Whoops, I take that back. He doesn't have these top pair hands. Let's hear. He is supposed to be calling with all of those. I just don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think he is calling. He is making this play with like possibly Ace Jack, Ace 10, maybe Ace 9, Ace 8. Ace 7's a possibility. Maybe he throws in these two pair type hands, Ace 7, Ace 6, but those are going to be relatively few combos here that he's doing that with. Maybe Ace 5. Maybe he's doing it with those. So he bets. I'm going to be a mix of call and raises and folds. I've got Ace of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. So I've got top pair, second kicker. You can see with top pair, second kicker, I am calling and somewhat raising, kind of a mixed strategy. Definitely raising with two pair, which I think I would have done. Not really raising much with trips, with aces, sixes, or sevens. So I think if he leads, that's not a surprise. I think if he checks, we're probably going to be betting those. So if he checked to us, yeah, we're betting those trips. No reason to really slow play here. I think we're gonna bet and hope he gets called we get called because he does have like these suited aces. So he leads into us. We call, and a 6 of diamonds falls, and now we've got basically 0% he should be betting. We have it set, so he bets 47.15%. That would basically be pot size bet. Yeah, add all in. I think this is like a 175% bet that we could have, but still, it's 0%. He's not supposed to be betting here. So if he bets, I mean, what do we do? Let's say he bets pot. What do we do? We are looking like we're raising here with our top pair, strong kicker, and we go to the river at this point. So it very clear that this guy is not playing GTO. So my suspicion is that he is betting hands like these. Will include, I think even possibly with Ace 2, Ace 3, Ace 4, Ace 5. I thought I played with this guy more than I did at 162 hands. Maybe that's all that I've seen. He seems a little bit aggressive. It seems a little bit like aggressive post flop. So raise C bet 3 out of 15. Bet into a limped pot, 7 out of 34. Turn, check raise, 1 out of 12. Just like in the few hands, that we have played, he's done kind of these raising C bets, check raising plays, more than what you typically see. So while he might be super passive pre-flop to get hands, all of a sudden on the flop, he is just like almost maniac, if you ask me. But getting back to the saying, we'll add eights. I guess we'll add trips. I don't think so. I think that would be like a solid check raise, and I think A7, A6 would be a solid check raise here. Let's take those out. Solid check raise. Maybe 5s, 4s, 3s, and 2s. He's betting. He doesn't really have any other pairs. I think the 7s. 9-7, 8-7, he could be betting here. So let us run the solver again. Actually, let's rebuild the tree. Let's get that correct. And then we will run the solver and be back. All right, so we've kind of changed it. Bummer. All right, let's go back to here because we did change the tree. Let's we have to fix this. So just add our pocket pairs, our 7s, our low pocket pairs. We said he would probably call, check raise with those two pairs. Check raise, I think, with 7-6 as well. These other ones, probably not. And even if he bets with these, I'm not sure if he would bet again. All right, so we'll run the solver and be back. All right, so we've got it set up to where he's going to be betting those. It looks like GTO play, if he's going to be betting that or that wider range, we should just be raising here. We're going to be raising 41, so if he bets 17, we're raising 2.5 times his bet, about like 51, 50, little 53 would be 3 times his bet. GTO says we should be raising here, so I think that's a mistake. I just called, and then he bet all in again. And again, if he's GTO, he does have small percentages, but I think if we get this fixed, if he has ace jack here, probably those. Maybe he thinks when I called, I'm calling with like an 8-9, possibly. So he's leading with ace jack, ace 10. Maybe he leads with 8-7s. I kind of feel like once I just called, I think he's given up with the 7s. But I think he's doing it with the aces. Maybe not even all of these. So let's run this again. All right, so I just go back and check. He bets. We're still raising these good pairs, including 10 to jacks. I think that's a little bit surprising that we have some of those. And jack 10, that's going to be for the bluff, but kind of raising those, I guess, because villain, we assume that if we raise, villain's going to be giving up a lot. He would probably just shove with ace jack, ace 10 if he's playing GTO. So we call, and then he bets, and now it's like we're folding a whole lot. But of our hands, like ace 10, we're calling, 2 pair, ace 7s, full houses, trips. I think we're playing pretty good. So we did go to the river. So what did he see show? He shows ace jack. So that is what I've kind of assumed was in his range. That's why I called. So does he have these other ones in his range? Maybe. But I think what we do is once he leads into us, we should be raising. And now we're getting close to getting all in. So if he all of a sudden shoves, we're calling with top pair, good kicker. Probably because we exclude like trips, 6s and 7s and aces from saying he doesn't. I don't think he has aces, but these trips, because I would have expected him to be check raising. Same thing with like a7, a6. I think that's probably his MO, is to check raise those big hands, but donk and try to get me to fold some of the a better ace king, ace queen, and so forth. So I won the hand. Kind of a strange player. Just got to remember, when I see those donks, it really turns into being a lot more aggressive than what I have been. I've already been somewhat aggressive into donks when they lead into me. I've been raising, but in this case, I just called, and I think that was a mistake. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, look tomorrow for another one.